Good morning, everyone. This is Keegan, Town Manager in Foxboro, with your latest COVID-19 update. So, take a look at the numbers this morning. We have a total of 55 cases that we've had since March 15th. A total of 29 people have recovered, and a total of 21 people who currently have the virus that are being tracked. There are 4 people that we've lost contact with, and so as a result of those, we cannot get an update on their status. Unfortunately, that does happen as a result of this process. We can't always stay in touch with those people that have the virus, but we certainly have at least 21 of those people that we're tracking at this point in time. 3 people are hospitalized at this point in time. We have 1 death to report. Total of 336 people have tested negative. So we are in a negative state at this point. So we actually have some good news to report there in that regard. So taking a look at what's happening statewide in Massachusetts. Let me see. All right. So currently there are 41,199 cases as we are in the surge right now. We have gone past the peak period. It was confusing to me to hear from Mayor Walsh this morning that he said the peak is not for another week and a half. Based on all the models that we've seen so far, we are past the peak, and that actually happened a couple of days ago. So it may be worth you speaking about the national peak versus the local peak. But we reached the national peak as of about a week ago. So we're actually on the way down in terms of the impacts in that regard. But in Massachusetts, we're seeing still the bit of a surge. 41,199 cases as of today. There are currently 18,200 COVID suitable beds, and right now there are 3,977 patients using those beds, and another 1,050 in the COVID ICU, who are COVID ICU patients at this point in time. All right, taking a look at what's going on in Norfolk County, we currently have 4,062 cases in Norfolk County, and currently there are 290 deaths associated with the cases that have occurred around Norfolk County. And right now we are tracking as the 4th largest number of cases in Massachusetts, with the largest number of cases in Middlesex County, and that is at the 9,621 cases, 8,669 cases in Suffolk County, and 4,062 up in Essex County. There is 5,521 cases, 4,062 in Norfolk County, and Worcester County has emerged now as number 5 overall, with 3,341 cases in Worcester County. So that is the latest of what's going on in and around Massachusetts. The age bracket that is still continuing to be impacted the most is the 50 to 59 bracket. The number of deaths that have occurred in Massachusetts are in the 80-plus range in terms of age group. That is the largest number at 1,200 patients that have died as a result of the COVID-19 related complications. 70 to 79 age bracket is 439 cases. 60 to 69 is 196. And from the age bracket of 50 to 59, there is 66 cases. And then it drops off rather significantly in terms of impact. So where the age group of less than 29, there's only been 1 death in Massachusetts. 30 to 39 age bracket, 7 deaths have occurred. And 40 to 49, there's 14 cases that have been impacted that way, have become fatal. So there's a 1.8% fatality rate associated with deaths in Massachusetts, and that's based upon the total of 1,961 deaths in 41,199 cases in total. Now, in terms of testing, 775,372 cases have been tested in Massachusetts. That was an increase of about 5,000 tests as of yesterday. 5,500, I believe, as of yesterday. That was from yesterday to today. And so take a look at the current update. Tuesday, Governor Baker now issued an emergency order extending the closure of all public and private schools through the end of the school year. All non-emergency child care programs will remain closed until June 29th in an effort to prevent the further spread of COVID-19 in the Commonwealth. Emergency child care programs approved by the Department of Early Childhood Education and Care will continue operating. Currently, there are 523 emergency child care programs operating statewide, serving families and of essential workers. The EEC will continue to pay subsidies to child care providers based on their pre-COVID-19 enrollment in order to support the workforce. To support families of essential workers and families to support families of essential workers and families with children who have special needs, EEC and Care.com have partnered to assist currently unemployed child care workers and provide skilled in-home care. Care.com is offering both eligible families and child care workers with free 90-day premium memberships. The Massachusetts Department of Higher Education is deferring scheduled repayments of its no-interest loan program for a duration of 4 months to support relief efforts during the COVID-19 public health emergency. Some of the new updates that were as of April 21st, coronavirus testing and response. As I stated, there are 41,199 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 1,556 new cases as of yesterday, and there were 1,961 deaths as of yesterday at 4 o'clock. The new New Information Department of Public Health has updated its daily reporting dashboard to include more detailed information on hospitalizations, demographic data, county-by-county breakdowns. To view the new dashboard, you can click on mass.gov/doc/COVID-19-dashboard-April 21 -2020/download. And so the easiest thing to do is to go to mass.gov/doc/COVID-19 dashboard, and it'll take you right through that area and provide you the latest information on that. So as I already reported on the number of tests that have been done, personal protective equipment, PPE, continues to be distributed across the Commonwealth. Roughly 750,000 pieces of PPE have been distributed, including 178,000 N95 masks and 158 ventilators as of yesterday. Hospital bed capacity, Massachusetts bed capacity for the surge currently sits at 18,200, and as of April 21, 56% of the beds are available statewide, meaning 44% of those beds are being occupied at this time. Mobile testing at long-term care facilities. The state's National Guard Mobile Testing Initiative continues with the Department of Public Health reporting that 317 facilities have conducted 9,370 tests through yesterday. The Governor, along with the Secretary of Health and Human Services and health care providers across the Commonwealth, are also urging people to not neglect essential health care services due to concerns over COVID-19. The state has expanded the telehealth resources, online screening, and hospital capacity, not to deal with the influx of COVID-19 patients, but to ensure that Massachusetts residents can still get the care they need for other critical medical conditions despite the increased demand for COVID-19 care. And yesterday, the Department of Public Health announced its modified guidance for crisis standards for care hospitals, standards of care for hospitals and other healthcare providers. DPH will also be convening an equity advisory group to ensure that standards do not have disparate impacts across any demographic groups. And so again, on the education front, the closing of school to the end of the year, and early education and child care programs will remain closed through June 29th of this year as well. The Department of Early Education and Care will continue to provide subsidies to licensed child care programs to ensure the child care for the workforce remains supported. Emergency child care providers continue to operate at 523 facilities across the Commonwealth, providing care for approximately 2,500 children of frontline workers on a daily basis. The Massachusetts STEM Council has released a list of home learning resources for families, educators, and students of all ages. Massachusetts Department of Higher Education is deferring scheduled repayments for its no-interest loan program. I reported on that a few minutes ago. And these deferments will help approximately 12,000 students that participate in the $5 million program. And nothing new on the unemployment assistance programs. Anybody has any questions about that, they can go to mass.gov/PUA for the latest information on that. We've consistently reported about that status. So the legislation on the legislative front, House of Representatives passed legislation requiring detailed daily reporting of COVID-19 cases and responses in nursing homes and other long-term care facilities. The bill now travels to the Senate for consideration. Senate passed legislation allowing for notaries to conduct some of their normal duties virtually using video conferencing software and additional alternative certification methods. The bill now travels to the House for consideration on that front. Mass DOT has released detailed estimates for federal funding that the MBTA and regional transit authorities were expecting to receive under the CARES Act. The MBTA is expected to receive $884 million in federal funds to support continued operations and preventive measures. The RTAs are expected to receive $213 million in federal funds. However, these numbers are projections, and actual implementation may vary. Metropolitan Area Planning Commission, the MAPC, has released a report assessing the impact of COVID-19 related layoffs on housing stability in Massachusetts. This report underscores the need for continued federal assistance to reduce impacts on families after the first wave of layoffs and benefits run their course. 1,785 members of the Massachusetts National Guard have been activated for COVID-19 responses. Their roles include medical support for temporary alternative healthcare sites, delivery and coordination of PPE, administration of the state's mobile testing program for long-term care facilities, and additional security for COVID-19 sites not covered by local public safety officials. And let me see, I think that covers the latest. There is some contact tracing. Department of Public Health is hiring up to 1,000 people to do contact tracing. That's an important piece of getting people back to work and knowing where people are. American Red Cross is asking for more blood donations, and please donate to the Mass COVID-19 Relief Fund. All really important measures that will help get us through the situation collectively. And then last but not least, I was on the phone this morning with my operations team, checking out all the things that are going on throughout the town. We're working on finalizing the FY21 budget at this point in time. We have taken, despite everything that we've been talking about, we took a very extreme and very conservative approach going into the budget process this year, which will certainly help our position going into fiscal 21. So we are going to revisit that again. I'm going to meet with the advisory committee tonight to go over the budget as well as the warrant. Right now there are only 12 articles on the warrant. The town meeting is scheduled for June 15th, and the local election is scheduled for June 8th. So glad to update anybody on those situations. If anybody has any further questions about those things, we'll continue to look at that very closely. We have modified the budget and cut out a few things for next year, including all new positions have been eliminated temporarily until we have a better understanding of where we know. So that probably won't be revisited to either in the fall or may be held off until next year altogether. So we'll take a look at that and see where we are. So the other thing that's really important that we want to try and update everybody on is that we were talking about this with the police chief this morning, is that there is a significant amount of fraudulent activity going on. The FBI has been tracking schemes going on to all communities in Massachusetts and across the country relative to some of the federal programs that have been coming out for aid programs. People trying to take advantage of those programs and trying to scam the money away from people. So be very, very careful with phone calls. people who call you and say that any of your accounts are in jeopardy. Well, first of all, they don't call you to do that. They wouldn't do that. You'd be receiving something in the mail that would have to be verified, and that would have to be double checked. Also, double check. Be careful about anything you receive on the internet. That there have been a number of companies that look exactly like either Apple or Amazon or any one of the major companies. They look exactly like that, saying that your account has been frozen or you need to be renewed. Be very careful about that, and before you actually take any steps towards that, you want to actually call the company directly to confirm that information. And don't use the number that they give you. Use the number that's on the website for the major companies such as Amazon or Apple or any one of those major companies. Go right to their websites directly and use their phone numbers. Do not use the one that they give you in the email if you receive an email to that effect. Just a good piece of information about that. And then also the Eden Foxboro promotion is still going on. 2 winners each week for the next 2 weeks. Eden Foxboro and hashtag Eden Foxboro and hashtag name of the restaurant that you've been participating with the local for the takeout services, so that we can continue to support our local restaurants as best we can. So if there's anything that anybody wants to provide for additional information on what's going on in and around Foxboro, we'll continue to update you when we can. It's been quiet, so there's not a lot going on. Obviously, I know that school is out for the rest of the year. Conversations are going on with the school department to see how they're going to handle graduation this year. That question is still up for consideration. So I know that there's an effort to try and address that in a positive way. So if in fact something happens there, we will certainly keep you posted on that and what we're going to do and how we can best support the school department through that effort. Other than that, I will catch up with you tomorrow. Continue to provide you with the latest information about Foxboro and what's going on around the state. Again, if anybody has any information that they want to provide and want me to share, it's wkeegan@foxboroma.gov. Hope you stay healthy. Hope you stay well, and I'll see you next time.